Hello, I'm Dr. Aizaz from MedicoVisual.com, and in this relatively short visual lecture, we will discuss the development of breast. So, the development of breast it starts at about the sixth week of development, and it initially starts from the ectoderm. So, here you can see that I have shown this little embryo or fetus, much simplified 3D model here. So, what actually happens that starting from the superiorly near the axilla at the anterior margin of the axilla, and it will reach to the pelvic region and up to the medial side of the thigh. A thickening, bilateral thickening of this ectoderm appears in the form of a line like this. So this type of thickening appears, and this ectodermal thickening is basically the primordium of the breast. And the name of this thickening is important. You must remember it. It is called, in simple terms, it can be simply called milk line, but it has a more technical name as well. So it is also called mammary crest. And why it is called mammary crest, or it is, by the way, also called mammary ridge. Why it is called mammary crest? Because the term mammary or mammary, it refers to the mammary glands, which is a more scientific name of the breast or mammary gland. And by the way, you know what? The interesting thing is that all mammals, not just human, all mammals have this characteristic, or you can say the trademark feature, the landmark feature of all the mammals, due to which they are called mammals, is the presence of mammary glands in these, or the breast. Through these breasts, they feed their newborn babies. So it is present in every mammal. So, as I've told you, that whole this bilateral line develops, but humans they typically have a single pair of breast. Normally, they have a single pair of breast. So other parts of this memory line or memory crest or milk line or milk ridge, other parts they degenerate, and only a small part as a thickening or placode remains like this. So only this much part remains. You know, in other mammals, for example, in female dogs, they have multiple breasts. Even I think cats have multiple breasts. So they have multiple breasts arranged like this in lines. So their this memory line or milk line, their milk line degenerates in a different fashion, right? It degenerates in such a way that multiple breasts are formed. That's what happens normally in those animals. But even in humans, sometimes more than one breast may be formed as a developmental anomaly. Even in human, more than one breast may develop, and that is due to incomplete or aberrant degeneration of this milk line. So its proper degeneration is important. Sometimes a complete breast, complete extra breast, or poly breast, that's what we call it. So another extra breast may be formed, or the complete breast may not be formed, only a rudimentary part might be formed, and on top of that, nipple might be there. So, extra nipple might be there, or sometimes even extra breast may be there, and this is due to incomplete degeneration of, or abnormal degeneration of this milk line. So, then let's move forward that it degenerates normally in human. Now, from this degenerated part, this remaining thickening is a placode. It's you can call it breast placode or milk placode. Placode simply means circular thickening of the ectoderm. Now, to understand the development of breast further, I will take a part of this area, the placode, and along with that some skin, and I will enlarge it on the side, and then we will see what happens with it. So here we have a part or patch of skin of the breast area, future breast area, and along with that, I have shown this placode from which a bud will arise, and this bud will invaginate inward, and inside there will be the mesenchyme. So it will grow toward the mesenchyme, and this is the primary bud, the primary breast bud or primary mammary bud, and surrounding it will be the mesenchyme. This mesenchyme will form the surrounding fat, the fat tissue, and along with that, it will also form the connective tissue of this region. So initially there is the single rod like proliferation or single bud, but later on it branches to form secondary buds, and as it grow, the shape of breast begin to establish slightly, right? So so here we can see the main bud, that is primary bud, and along with that we have these branches, and these are secondary buds, secondary breast buds. If I show you correctly, so this one was the main bud, and then it went ahead to form these branches. These are the secondary branches. 10 to 15 of such branches may be formed, but here, of course, I have shown a few of these only. So then what happens that it grows further like this, and many of the tissue, most of the tissue in this region, it undergoes the programmed cell death or apoptosis, and on the tissue that remains, it consists of these multiple branched glands. At this time, these are tubular glands, but later on we will see that the breast tissue consists of the actual real final mature breast tissue consists of the tubuloacinar glands. But we will see that in the late pregnancy, the proper glandular structure of the breast consists of tubuloacinar gland. What I mean by this, I will explain it. Don't worry about that. But at this time, please understand that um, 10 to 15 of these branched glands may be there. And please understand that if I cut a section of these, they will have some lumen. They will have a lumen with it. That is because although initially you saw that there is that rod, or you can say solidified structure was there, but due to programmed cell death, the canal is established. That's what we call as Z-canalization. So if I draw it here, that initially there was this type of structure, then it formed the inside the bud, and then actually what happened that it formed multiple glands, and this way multiple glands. So like this multiple glands were formed, and then within the glands also the lumen was established, because inside it, in the central region, the cell also die out. Within the central region, like this, the cells also die out like this. So the lumen is sort of re-established. So now you understand that's how multiple tube-like glands, tubular glands are formed. So this is the situation, even after the child is born till the puberty. This is the situation that these few ducts, like few ducts are there, and these few tubular structures are there. You see, not a proper fully developed breast is there. It's still a rudimentary structure, and this rudimentary structure is common in both male babies as well as female baby. This situation will remain till the puberty. In males, the situation will remain like this, right? Even some more of these ducts, they may be destroyed in males due to presence of testosterone, but in females, the situation will change after the puberty. As the puberty starts, the female sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone, they increase, and then the menstrual cycle starts, and all these hormonal changes, what it does with the human, with the female human body, of course, and other mammals as well, that it leads to further branching of these ducts. They are further branched, and along with that, more fat tissue accumulates. Of course, I have not shown another thing, that the connective tissue here will form some partitions. I have not shown because it's not a histology lecture, but anyhow, there it is there. You should know that. Details you will learn in histology. So, more branching is there like this. So breast will become, the breast will enlarge. They will enlarge a bit, but still they do not have proper secretory structure. Breast are, I think they are quite purpose built. They do not form the proper secretory, fully mature, proper secretory structures, secretory alveoli until the pregnancy starts. So, when the pregnancy starts, then these alveoli will develop and they will secrete the milk. And another thing that I haven't told you, that initially all these ducts, they were opening in this region. It's initially it's a depression or pit, but later in this region, the skin, due to the mesenchyme below it, it will proliferate, and the skin in this region, it will elevate, and this will lead to formation of nipple, right? And this is now after the pregnancy, after the, sorry, not pregnancy, after the puberty in females, not in males. In males it will stay rudimentary throughout the life unless there are some hormonal issue, in which case the gynecomastia might develop, but I will not go into that. So in females, more branching will develop. It will more enlarge. The breast will enlarge, and along with that, more fat will accumulate due to presence of female sex hormones. And after the pregnancy, these secretory vesicles, or you can call it secretory alveoli, they develop, and now it's a proper tubuloacinar gland. So this is all about the embryology of breast. Two things you must remember, that most of the main component of the breast, it develops from ectoderm. It's ectodermal in origin. But the supporting tissues, I mean the connective tissue as well as fat, it arises from mesoderm through the mesenchyme, right? So that was all about development of breast. A brief point and a review that I would like to show you on the sketch pad, and you might skip this part of lecture, but still I will show you for those who are interested. It is more related with histology and physiology, but if you are interested, you can continue watching this lecture. Otherwise, embryology is mainly up to this point. So, as I've told you that this is the situation before the onset of puberty, that we have a few glands. Let me show you that we have a few glands, and these are branched glands. They have less branches, not highly branched, and not very large in size. This is the situation. Oh, yeah. So this is the situation before puberty, and this is common in both gender. This will remain throughout in males, but in females, things will slightly change. In females, let's copy this and let's paste it here. In females, after puberty, under the influence of sex hormones, these glands, they will undergo more branches, more branching like this, and this one will undergo more branches. I hope you got the concept. It's a very rough diagram, but it would be enough for your conceptual purposes. And of course, the size of breast will increase. Size of breast will increase. Nipple is there. And of course, don't forget that we have fat pads below it, fat tissue below it. So this was after puberty, that there is more branching. Then after that, if I again copy this and I paste it here, let's remove this one. So now after puberty, now in this case, let's suppose that pregnancy has occurred. Now what will happen? In the mid of pregnancy, under the influence of hormones of pregnancy, even more branching will occur, and this even the lumen size of lumen might change, right? So even more branching will occur, and along with that, in late pregnancy, at the ends of these branches, this is important to understand that at the ends of these branches, these type of structures will develop, right? These type of structures, I hope you got the point. These type of structures, they will begin to secrete the milk. Now what is the shape of a single gland? If you focus here, we have multiple of these glands. This is one gland, this is second, this is third, three are shown here. Of course, more than that will be there, and they will be opening onto these pores on the nipple, right? So if we see the structure of a single fully mature, fully developed gland, let's say it's a gland of a woman who is lactating right now or who is about to give the birth, then what will be the shape of this gland? This is the lumen, this is the main duct. Then it will branch, it might have multiple branches, right? So let me draw only a few branches for the sake of simplicity. Otherwise, it might get complicated. And now, here the secretory part starts. By secretory part means that this part is actual glandular part. The other part is the conducting part, which will just take the secretion towards towards the pores. Right, so let me tell you what I am about to show. Wait a minute, let me first draw. So now you see that part is the secretory part. So this type of gland, number one, it is branched. Number one, it is branched gland. It is compound gland or branched gland. Secondly, its secretory part may even be branched. For example, it may be like this. So its secretory part may also be branched. And if we talk about the shape of secretory part, it is not only this part which is secretory, even a part of even the tubular part is also secretory. And sometimes some of these ends may not even have even have these acini. So this part, so let me show you. For examples, shape might be like this. So the whole this part might be secretory. So secretory part is basically, it consists of tube-like part as well, this tube-like part, as well as this acinar part, this rounded part. So it is branched, it is tubular or acinar. It is tubulo-acinar. It has both type of structures. So it is branched tubulo-acinar gland, and it is not, breast does not consist of a single branch tubulo-acinar gland. Breast consists of multiple branch tubulo-acinar glands when it is fully developed and when it is ready for lactation. So it is late pregnancy and lactating period. Late pregnancy and lactation. Of course, as the baby uh, has lactated properly, weaning of the baby starts, and ultimately baby stops taking the milk, sucking the milk from the breast. With time, again, this will regress and this breast, this secretory part, it will begin to regress slightly, and then milk will not be secreted from the breast. So milk will not be secreting from the breast. This process will stop. So I think that was all about today's lecture. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day. Goodbye.